Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Struggling Hunters Podcast. You're with Eric Stewart and the man, the cowboy, the myth, the legend, Mr. Joe Imes. How you doing today, Joe?
Doing pretty good. Not too bad. Had a good day at work. How about yourself?
Yeah, about the same. Just been plugging away and just trying to stay focused on the next weekend of turkey hunting, since that's all I've been doing pretty much every weekend. I went out again this weekend and still didn't see nothing. Been going through a dry spell with those dang turkeys, but I'm not giving up. As a matter of fact, this next coming weekend, I'm gonna go out camping and for a night and try to be out there a little bit earlier than I have been, and try to get a jump on the turkey and see how that works. So that's kind of the plan this weekend. But yeah, what about you?
So, funny story. So I can't remember what exactly I said I was going to do this last weekend, but I ended up going on a turkey hunt.
Okay.
So a couple days ago, earlier the week, a coworker comes up and was all, "Hey Joe, you have your turkey tag?" And I was like, "No, I don't have my turkey tag." I was like, "I didn't even know there was even a turkey season open right now, like for Utah." It shows how bad that I don't keep up on things, like I got my deer and my elk stuff, dates and when all that's supposed to happen. But actually I put in for a limited entry turkey tag for earlier in the spring. And so that's all I thought there was. And so I'd come home, talk to Jen. I was like, "Hey, there's a turkey season going on." She's like, "Well, how long does it last?" I was like, "Oh, till the end of the month." And then if it's funny too, because my little sister, Becca, she ends up, getting a turkey and posted it on Facebook. And I was like, "Oh, hey, I got my turkey." And I was like, "Oh, hey." So I end up, short story, I end up buying a tag. So I called up my little sister and I actually sent her a text earlier in the evening of that. And I was like, "Hey, I'm going to call you later." And she tells the story. She's like, "I wonder what my brother's going to talk to me about." And so I was like, "Hey, what are you doing Saturday?" So I got the day off. I was like, "Well, you want to go turkey hunting?" She lives down, in the Richfield area. She's like, "You want to go turkey hunting down here?" I was like, "Yeah, I want to go where you got yours." So the person that showed her actually gave us permission to kind of hunt the spot. I wasn't going to go down there without really his permission.
Right.
I want to be respectful of that. But so yeah, so Friday is when I bought my tag. And so it's been so long since I bought a tag over the counter. Okay. So usually when I buy a tag, I go down to the DNR, Utah Wildlife Headquarters, which isn't too far from my house, and I'll buy it that way. Well, that was closed when I got home from work on Friday. So I think it was Thursday I talked to Becca, and then me and Jen were going to go go camping out in the West Desert here in Utah for the weekend anyways. And so Jen was like, "Hey, you can come hang out at camp. Me and Beck will go turkey hunting, still get the relaxing camp atmosphere of it, And so she's like, "Yeah, that's fine." So, that was Thursday night, talked to Beck. So kind of throw a handful of things together Thursday night. Friday after work, I get home, load up the Explorer, throw my hunting stuff together. And so now I have to go pick up my tag because the headquarters office closes at 5. I can't make it home in time. So I, look up, where to buy a tag, and it's like all the grocery stores around town. So I call up the grocery store and I was like, "Hey, can I buy a turkey tag from you?" And the lady's like, "I think so." So she goes through her little computer thing. It's, oh yeah, there's a season here. It looks like it's this tag. Like, okay, cool. Like, how long do I got till you guys close? Like, or, when can how long do I have till I can't buy a tag from you guys today? She's like, oh, it should be closed at 9. I was like, well, okay, so there'll be someone there. She's like, yeah. So okay, so we load up the Explorer, drive over and to the neighborhood grocery store, walk up to their customer service. I was like, hey, I want to buy a turkey tag. And like the lady behind the counter like stares at me. Huh? So yeah, hooked me up with a turkey tag. She's all, we sell those? Yeah, you do. And then another lady, the lady I talked to, she walks up, oh, are you the one that called earlier about the turkey tag? I was like, yeah. She's like, oh, you just come over to this computer over here, and this is the one he wants. So she helped me out, which was good, but it was just funny. Like it's been a long time since I bought one, over the counter, and just the lady gave me like the deadpan look of like, what are you talking about?
Yeah. They must not sell too many turkey tags at that store.
I don't think they do too much.
Yeah, that's hilarious. Hilarious.
So we get down there and pick up Becca, and we end up at camp at like 12:30 or 1 o'clock in the morning. And
from Friday night.
Yeah, so we left Friday night.
Morning.
So this is Saturday morning.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah. And so we unload the Explorer, and we just sleep in the back of the Explorer, and we get up, with me and Becker, like, oh, what time should we get up in the morning? And I was like, well, we probably should be setting, I think we decided at like 5:40, 5:50 or something. So we left camp at like 5:30. We end up like not having to hike very far, but it was kind of fun. Like it was a fun experience, a little different than I'm used to.
Mm-hmm.
So like right when the sun was coming up, like right when it's starting getting light, there was 2 different turkeys gobbling. Like there was one coming from from behind us and to our right, another one coming from way in front of us, and then you heard I think it was a hen do her little clucking. There was a hen doing a bunch of clucking, and so me and Becca like, yeah, we're gonna get one, like we hear them.
Yeah.
And so we take off. So we're sitting there. We got a little chirp, a little, I can't remember what they're called, potluck or whatever.
Yeah, the
striker and thing.
Yeah.
Becca has never used one, and I have never used one, but I was like, I'll play with it. So I got going, and the turkeys were gobbling. We're like, all right, and then finally they got quiet, and so we took off hiking, hit a couple, and we would sit down and call for a little bit, and then like we could hear cows mooing, turkeys would start gobbling, and I'd sit there and work the call, like, yeah, I'm calling them in.
Yeah.
Getting all proud of myself, and then like they'd get quiet for a while, and so we'd move to another spot, and we did this, I think 3, 4 times, and I think at the 4th time we're standing, and we'd hit the call, and like just see if there's something we could hear something gobble or not, and so we're standing there at this one set, and Becca's talking to me, and she looks, hey, there's a turkey down there. And it just happened to go like right behind this little bush.
Yeah.
And she's like, it's right down there. So I'm looking, and I see it pop out on the other side. And it was kind of fun because it was doing its little like head bobbing, like it's been a long time since I've been like that close to a turkey, especially out in the wild.
Yeah.
So then I take, and it was kind of a learning experience too, because we were standing by a tree, but like we didn't have any trees around us to hide in.
Mm-hmm.
So we just stood still. And I told Beck, it's like, we got to have more patience than that turkey. You know, like it's just the game we have to play right now. So we stood still, and the thing went behind this bush. So I clucked. What we should have done is we should have went and hid ourselves, you know, like while it couldn't see us, try to go hide. I think, I don't know for sure. You know, like, but we had time as it was working its way around this bush to go set and and try to hide. But yeah, so I was working the little striker thing, and it started working closer to us, and it got within, I think it was 5 yards, like, you know, no more than 15 feet. But it was, like I said, it was cool. It's doing is stretching its neck out and coming up, and, you know,
Oh, wow.
and it was fun. And so, you know, so now we have this turkey coming in. So now we have to decide if it's a tom or not, right? Like, that's what we're hunting, is toms. So both me and Beck are, you see a beard? Is there a beard there? And as it moves by, I was like, yeah, there's a beard. And it turns a little bit, like, oh no, there's not a beard. And then I remember it turned to where its chest was facing me. And I was like, okay, do I see a beard sticking out of that chest? Is there any little curly hairs coming out of there, you know?
Yeah.
Please be a beard. And I was staring, and I could not see a beard. It's like, oh man, it's a dang hen. But then it turned sideways, and I could see like these little hairs just kind of sticking out, but they were not on the center of it, you know, because like closer to like the shoulder or the wing. But like I was like, no, it's a tom, it's a tom. Becca kept saying, "Are you sure, Joe? Are you sure?" Yeah, it is. But it ended up turning tail. It went behind a bush, and then we moved a little bit, and I think it picked up on us and it took off. But it was a fun experience, you know. It was fun.
When it turned around, was it chirping, like doing these little chirp sounds at all?
Yeah, I was doing like a cluck, like a, you know, like a little like cluck, cluck, cluck.
Yeah. So that whenever that happens, that little that noise, it's like an indicator to other turkeys, like, hey, something's dangerous over here. Get away.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I just heard that not too long ago, and I was gonna add, I forgot to add it a little earlier, but where I work, there's this one area I've been seeing turkeys up there every day. The problem is I'm at work, so I can't have my gun, and it's on private property also. So it's kind of a double negative there as far as being able to get those turkeys. But I've been stopping and kind of checking them out and calling them myself, and I've been seeing them like every day that I go to that area, I should say. I've been seeing them every time I went up there, and but that little chirp or that little cluck sound, they did it to me the other day too. Whenever I was sitting there calling them, and I got into a conversation with the well, not a conversation necessarily, but with the hens I did, and then the tom come around. He was hiding behind this tree, and he stood there forever. You got to be so patient. I mean, I was just at work. I wasn't even hunting him, but I almost gave up on him because he wouldn't come around this corner. I got a little bit of video of it, but he finally came around this tree and then kind of puffed up and everything. And I was doing these chirps and all, just trying everything, you know, but eventually he kind of caught on that I was just messing with him and turned around, started running, and made that chirp sound. But that was a lot of fun doing that. But yeah, that's exciting. So your first day out there and you kind of got a little bit of action. I'm actually jealous of you, because I mean, every time that I've actually went out to hunt these dang things, I haven't had any luck at all. So I'm kind of jealous of you.
We were actually sitting back at camp at lunch, and between morning and afternoon, and we went back for lunch and stuff, and we're sitting there, and we heard this gobble go off. Like Jen and me and Beck were like, oh. So we take our dog with us. Becca had her dog with us, and so we had to, like hop in, put Jen and the dogs in the Explorer, so that way they wouldn't follow us, and we took off. So I guess I took me and Beck in the wrong direction. I thought it come from one direction, so me and her took off that way, and Beck's like, no, I heard it come from the other direction. I was like, oh shoot, really? Like we should have talked about that before. I just was like, let's go. And so we do this loop. We went to the direction I thought it came from, and we went back around to the direction Becca thought it came from, and we ended up back at camp. And I was like, all right, Jen, what direction did that come from? She points the direction, and it happened to be the direction that Becca heard it come from. So I was like, well.
Wow.
But one of the interesting things too I didn't know, but I think people do as a locator is like they will do like a coyote howl or something. The birds, the turkeys will hear that noise, and I don't know why, but I guess they choose to compete, or so you can kind of locate them that way. But come to find out, so like we went hunting that afternoon, and I told Beck, so we kind of clued into that afternoon, we could hear there's some cows, and every time the cows would pick up and start mooing a whole bunch,
mm-hmm.
the turkeys would start gobbling. And I'd be sitting, working on my call, like, yeah, they're talking to me. But then the moos would stop, and then the gobbles would stop. So it turned out that, it wasn't my great wisdom of Joe's calling techniques that was calling the turkeys. It was just them, for whatever reason, competing with the cows mooing, which I thought was kind of interesting.
Yeah, that's really interesting. I have heard about the coyote thing vaguely. I'm sure as we get more immersed into turkey hunting and stuff, we'll figure out exactly how all that works. But I have heard about the coyote thing, but that's crazy that they compete with the cows too.
I don't know if they're necessarily competing. That's just what I've kind of put it towards, like the herd of cows. It was interesting. They'd pick up, start mooing, and then you'd hear a turkey start gobbling. And like I said, I thought it was me with my awesome turkey calling techniques that was doing it, but no, it wasn't.
Yeah. So looking back, do you feel like you tried to maybe call too much?
Probably, because I'd hear them gobble, and I'd sit there and not wait long in between and just work it. And I probably made my calling session too long too. I got to sit there and just work that. I was kind of surprised I didn't wear a hole in the turkey call.
Yeah, whenever I went up to that area that I was telling you about at work, and it kind of wanted to test out, I was like, well, let's see if I can get these things to squawk back at me. And whenever I tried it and then they started gobbling back at me, I was like, oh my gosh, it actually works. So then I just started going off, and then I told myself, I'm like, oh wait, I need to back off. And so I kind of tried to get a little more patient with it, but it's easy to do whenever you're a newbie. I mean, to just want to talk, just to keep it going, keep the conversation going, and
getting that turkey fever.
You turn into a social butterfly.
Right. So on the way, I have a cassette tape. I know you probably know what a cassette tape is, but
yeah.
Everybody still remembers.
Yeah.
But I have this cassette tape that someone gave me that was about kind of turkey calling. It was like a night and hail thing or something. And but it was an old that someone gave me. And so on the way back from turkey hunting, I put that cassette tape in and we listened to it. And they got talking about how, like a turkey will gobble, and the toms are used to the hens coming to them. So if you're making a hen call, that, like they hear you with the call, making that hen call noise, and they're expecting the hen to go to them, not the tom come to the hen.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, that's me trying, like taking information from someone else that I didn't even, no one's ever really said anything about. So I don't know if that's legit or not.
So let me get that straight. So the toms, from what they're saying, is the toms would basically set in place and wait for.
Unless they heard another gobble. If they heard another gobble, then they think, it's kind of like a deer in rut smelling another buck or something, like then they go chasing the other gobble, trying to think there's someone coming after their hens.
They kind of make sense, but I mean, I don't know. I've seen other people turkey hunt, like, on the outdoor channel or whatever, and those toms usually go to them. So I don't know, but they take their time though. That's the one thing that's the even that that little bit of experience with me, trying to call that tom in whenever I was at work. I was losing patience with him because he hid behind this tree and just stayed there forever. And I didn't see him for the longest time, and I was almost gave up on him. I was like, oh, he must have ran off or something. And then finally, right before I was about to give up, he kind of poked his head out, and I was like, oh, there he is. And then I started having fun with him, and, he's getting all puffed out, and it's so cool whenever they do that. But
no, for sure. I think that, and their head turns red and stuff, and their little, their bangs come over their head.
Yeah, it's so addicting. It's so addicting. I mean, it makes you just keep going back. Do you feel like you're kind of an avid? You're gonna be an avid turkey hunter now?
Yeah, I think so. I plan to hunt, around the hills here in Bountiful, trying to, the rest of the season. Yeah. And then this fall, like, again, I think there's another turkey season this fall that I want to participate in.
Yeah, that's definitely my plan too, is hitting that fall season. Yeah, your sister though, she got a nice one. I saw it on social media. That was good job, Becca. I know you'll be watching.
But yeah, so I haven't even gotten a turkey yet. So she's got one up on me.
I feel like we might have cursed ourselves calling us the struggling hunters, because that's all I've been doing all turkey season.
Now, I think there's being new to turkey season, it's kind of, I think there's a lot of people that have hunted turkeys, like kind of what you were, we were talking before, like turkeys will get in a spot and stay in a spot. And I think, just being so new to it that we're learning those spots, like if you can find a turkey hunter that's willing to kind of that allowed me to go where Becca went,
Yeah.
That kind of helped.
Do the work, but if the people are nice enough to share what work they've already put in, to say, hey, yeah, I agree with you 100%, because kind of relating what I've been going through is where I've been hunting on public lands, blah, blah, blah. I haven't ran into a turkey at all, but on that one area, on the private land, that they've been in the same exact spot. I mean, every time I've drove up there, they've been in the same spot, which kind of indicated, I mean, it's private property, so there's no real pressure up there as far as hunting pressure, I should say. But it kind of also makes me think like they kind of stay in a central area for the most part. They don't migrate too far, which makes me think that these places where I've been going and not even getting a gobble or really any action at all. Maybe they're just not there, and I need to just move locations and try to figure out where they are, like you said, and go from there.
Right. Yeah, I wonder if there's one of the things that I want to learn to do better at is reaching out to fish and game officers. I'm getting their input if they will allow it or if they will share what they will share. Use that. But
Yeah,
I haven't been too good at that. But that's something I want to like to get better at.
Yeah, me too. Speaking of fish and game officers, whenever I was a younger lad, I don't know if I brought this up in the podcast yet, but I used to feel this way about fish and game, or parks and wildlife, whatever they might call them in whatever area that you're at. But I used to kind of hate them, I guess, like,
Yeah.
but I wasn't educated about what they really were. I just always thought they were just there to ruin a good time,
Yeah.
try to catch you doing something wrong or something. So I didn't hate them, I should say, but I just always kind of got more nervous of them. But as I get older and stuff, I kind of get excited whenever I see a fish and game officer. I'm like, hi, like I want to talk to them and just I mean, partly because I have nothing to worry about, and I always tried to stay within the law, even as a kid and everything. But I feel like it was an older generation's mentality. Like my family, my dad and other people in that generation, like fish and game were kind of evil or something, and
Yeah. Well, it seems like some of that stuff like goes from like one bad experience with them or something.
yeah,
Like someone maybe, it's one of those things they got to enforce the law. Someone has to do it, and sometimes not being fully educated on where you're at or like what the laws are. You think like you didn't take it upon yourself to learn everything that the laws for that maybe that specific area you're hunting. And a fishing game officer comes up and is like, oh, hey, you're doing this wrong. You, you can't be hunting with that, or you're hunting the wrong side of the road. This side's, does only, and this side is bucks only. I don't, so then that just puts a bad taste in your mouth. Like if you're told what you can't do, like how often do you, you someone comes up and tells you can't do that, and you're like, oh no, you want to watch me do it? I'll do that. You can't tell me what I can and can't do.
Yeah. No, I do think that's part of it, but kind of understanding their job, I guess. Like, so over the years, kind of learning what they do and what they're trying to prevent. I hear it all the time on like other hunting podcasts and stuff that like these people that go out poaching, man. There's still people to this day that we're worried about keeping the hunting community strong, but then there's a-holes out there that are ruining it for people like you and I, and that just want to go out and try to abide by all the rules and do all the right stuff. And you hear about all these stories about people poaching all kinds of different animals, and it's just sickening. So it kind of, getting older and kind of learning more about what they're doing and the conservation side of everything that they're doing makes you kind of respect them a lot more. Just whenever I was a kid, it just felt like they were out to get me. But as I get older, I realized, no, they're not out to get me. They're just, they're just making sure everybody's doing the right thing and just abiding by the law. everything that you're supposed to do and not do is in those game books. Just read them. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, read them while you're at hunting camp. That's what I usually do. You know, during hunting season, whenever there's some downtime and I have nothing else to do, I'll open up the regulations and just start going through it all and trying to make sense of it and stuff. And I will say that sometimes it can be a little, wait, what are you trying to say? You know, like in those books, but yeah, I don't know. I think that they I feel like in the older days, they used to get more of a bad rap than they do now. I feel like people kind of understand what they're trying to accomplish now, but back in the day, fish and game officers, they kind of didn't really get a fair shake. But I don't know. That's kind of my spill on fish and game. But
like, you know, I was gonna say I've had a couple times where I've been checked. You know, you know, they've been nice enough to, you know, like, hey, what you here hunting? Yeah, you know, you have your tags and whatnot, and yeah, here you go. You know, check it out. And they've been, you know, easy to work with. I think I've been checked for hunting, I think once. I think fishing I've been checked maybe twice. But, you know, I've got my tag on me or my license on me, and or now, you know, like now you can have your fishing, at least Utah, you can have your fishing license downloaded to your phone. So,
oh, really?
Yeah, you just got to have your phone on you.
I'll have to look at that for Colorado, because that'd be kind of nice. Because, you know, I feel like, especially your fishing license, for some reason it's probably because you know that, like, you think about your tags more for hunting, because you know that you have to put your tag on the animal.
So I just got a text from my sister. One of her buddies just got money missing from his bank, so he drew out for a tag this year. So Utah's they're doing their draws, it looks like, today, starting to sow.
Oh, what would that mean if you got yours?
That would mean I got a deer tag, or I got I drew out the limited entry elk tag.
Oh, gotcha. So you should probably get a notification here eventually. What were we talking about just now before that?
Sorry, I didn't mean to sidetrack you.
No, it was fine.
I just thought it's kind of fun that we're on here talking, and I was like, share it right now.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. I hope you get everything that you put in for. Oh, yeah. That's what I was gonna say, was the hunting tags. Like, whenever you have a tag, you have to have those with you to, you know, tag your animal.
Correct.
Because I always remember to put my tag in, but you know how many times I've been fishing and, like, left it in the glove box or whatever, and I mean, not intentional, but, like, it really does happen where you just kind of, you don't think about having, you know, carrying your license on you necessarily. You just think about the task at hand of getting some fish. But because I've heard people could get in trouble, you know, like if they're fishing at a lake or something and they don't have their license on their person at the time, they can actually get in trouble. So I don't know if it's true or not, but
did I just change colors in the screen?
yeah, you went from white to pink. You're like a turkey. You're getting all red and
huh. Interesting. But yeah, you know, that's, you know, keeping then, you know, how many, my older brother, my dad tells a story, my older brother, like his fishing license getting blown across, or, you know, off from his tackle box out in the lake, and he had to go swimming after it. But
really,
yeah,
that's awesome. Well, not for him, but that's a funny story. It would have been funny to watch.
But yeah.
Yeah. So you were telling me earlier that you got a little gift for yourself. Was it for yourself or did somebody buy it for you?
No, I bought it for myself.
Yeah, those are the best ones because you got exactly what you wanted.
So I ordered from Amazon. Last year I just got kind of a basic little release. I didn't get anything too fancy. It was all Velcroed and stuff. So this year I wanted to try to get a little bit better release. So I thought I'd unbox it here with you guys.
Yeah, no, that's awesome.
But yeah, so I was kind of excited because it's a little. I think I only paid 30 some odd bucks for it. Maybe it was 40 something, but here it is. So it's a Scott Archery, I guess, there.
Legacy, huh?
Yeah. But yeah, so I hoping it works. I think it should.
What drew you to that release?
Well, so I was wanting, the one I got last year was a basic one, and like nothing but the wrist strap was adjustable.
Okay.
So I wanted to get something that was like so this part of it here, I can adjust that length, so that way, like if I can shorten it up to fit my fingers a little bit better, or make it longer to make it longer if needed. And then the other thing that I wanted was a buckle instead of the Velcro, so that way, like I didn't have to. I'm gonna cut myself with my knife. Didn't have to worry about the Velcro coming loose. So
if you cut yourself, you're gonna have to finish this podcast before you can go to the emergency room.
Emergency room.
Yeah.
So this one has a buckle too, so that way it sits in your hand and around your wrist.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty dumb whenever it comes to bow stuff because I don't have one. Is $40 kind of like a budget friendly release, or is it kind of like higher end release?
No, it's a definite budget friendly release. You can go on up to however much you want to spend, 70, $130.
Oh, really?
But, yeah. So this is just one that, wasn't going to break my bank and allow me to do other stuff.
Well, it looks pretty nice though I mean, if it's a more budget friendly one, it looks, to me, not knowing anything about releases, it looks pretty nice to me.
Yeah. That's, seems like it's going to do the deal. And the other thing, kind of wanted to, you see how that's flexible. It's on that string.
Yeah.
I kind of like that better than, I don't know if I do or for sure, but being sometimes they're on like a rod and so they're just stiff, but I don't know. That kind of drew me to it too.
Yeah. Help you. I kind of see where you'd like the more flexible one, and then instead of a solid one, because a solid one kind of tells you where your hand has to be, where the flexible one, you could kind of put your hand. I mean, I'm making this up because I don't really know anything, but I'm just saying logically, it seems like it makes sense to where the flexible one, you could have your hand where comfortably how you want it, where the.
Right. I think the other thing too is I feel like when you release it, that's just going to drop. I don't know if it means anything, versus just stay there, but
yeah,
I don't know, but I'm excited.
Yeah, that's awesome. Have you gotten out and let some arrows fly yet?
No, I haven't. So, yeah, and I'm gonna start doing that. I need to do that this week.
Well, you got some time though. I mean, it's coming quick. What we say?
It was
like 3 months.
Yeah, August was when I'll be hunting.
3 months. Dang, I'm gonna have a newborn baby around that time.
Oh, are you?
Yeah. Well, it'll be June, so.
June. Yeah.
June. So 2 months. So she'll be 2 months old by August. Obviously, I'm being selfish and just trying to figure out a way how I can get over there to Utah to go hunt with you. So, so I'm trying to figure out what kind of story I can start talking to the wife. That's the bad thing about this podcast. I can let out all my secrets. Then whenever she listens to this, she'll catch on to everything that I'm saying.
Right. You gotta start being honest. No, just kidding.
Yeah. Dang it. Yeah, no, that's crazy. What else are you I was actually going to ask you this today too. What is there anything that you're wanting to get before hunt season besides your new release?
Not that I can really think. I'll probably pick up some new broadheads. But I think that's it. I got my release. I kind of was waiting on the release before I started shooting the bow, just so that way I didn't start practicing with a different release and then pick up this release and kind of, not that I think it's a huge difference, but just getting that muscle memory with the equipment that I will be using.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm out in the field, but
yeah.
I think for the most part, I got what I need now. Like I don't, if I do get something, I don't know exactly what it'll be, but I got what I think I need.
Your target practice arrows. What's the heads on those called?
Like just the field tips?
Yeah, the field tips. My question is your broadheads and field tips, are they roughly about the same weight?
Yeah, so I use the same weight of broadheads and the same weight of field tips, my practice tips.
Okay.
And I use about, I think it's 100 grain broadhead, 100 grain field tip, practice tip or whatever. And, like a lot of people are like, going a little bit heavier on the broadheads and stuff, but where my bow isn't the fastest shooting, I don't want to go too heavy. I mean, it goes both ways. Like the heavier the broadhead, the more kind of the more foot pounds is going to deliver, the harder it's going to hit. Right. But it's also going to take speed away from your arrow.
Right.
So the lighter your tips, the faster your arrow is going to go. So like where my bow doesn't fly too fast, I want to give it kind of, have some speed to it. So I'm going with about 100 grain broadhead.
Nice. I got to start on this bow hunting stuff. I don't know. Been taking my time. I told myself though that I just wanted to get my elk with a rifle and then.
No, I can hear what you're saying there, because I kind of I've switched over to bow, but I kind of feel like I need to like redeem myself with the rifle. Like, I haven't gotten one with the rifle yet, and I'd like to.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. That's just kind of what I told myself I was going to do. I might adjust though, because I really do want to start getting into bow hunting
Well,
and going
so
that
like the
route.
one thing that's hard with the bow, is like the deer and the elk hunts are like the same time.
Mm-hmm.
So, like you where if you did, but so in Utah, I kind of in a way got like kind of like a grace period, or not, I shouldn't say grace period, but so you get an extended hunt for both elk and deer if you have an archery tag. So you
Mm-hmm.
got your archery season, and then you take this online course, and then you get a later hunt. You get or you can continue hunting for an extra bit. But then then it turns into, for deer, it turns in for either or, antler, buck or doe. But you only have a smaller area of where you can hunt.
Is it further away from your house
No, I can actually just hunt up the hill here. So
for that later hunt?
yeah,
Oh, that's nice.
yeah. So but the elk, it's kind of hard to hunt the elk because the elk, depending on the snow year, aren't pushed down low enough to hunt the area that I'm allowed to hunt. But the deer, there's deer in those areas. So it's one of those catch-22s for me. Like, I kind of wish that the season wasn't the same time, but you get an extended opportunity to hunt. But if you had like a rifle, you only get those 9 days to hunt, and then you're done. So
Yeah, I sure do miss the month and a half of hunting in Idaho.
yeah,
I mean,
so I
it was so nice because you could do like a week long hunt, take off work and all that stuff, and do a week long hunt. But then after that, if you still didn't get nothing, go out on the weekends every weekend for a while, and really ups your chances. I mean, it's amazing that they do that. I don't know if they still do it or not, but those I don't know. I wish that Colorado would do the same thing. Just kind of give you more bang for your buck and let you hunt for a
yeah,
couple
I'm not.
weeks.
Yeah, I almost like to get an Idaho regulation book just to see what it's like now. I haven't looked at one in, gosh, 15 years probably.
Yeah, well, I can't remember what the heck I was reading, but I actually was looking it up. Um, how did I? Oh yeah. I was looking up chuckers because I used to do a lot of chucker hunting with my buddy, um, growing up there in Idaho, and I was looking up the chuckers, and um, I ended up landing on a fishing game, or the books, or it was all online, but I was going through the regulations, and I can't remember the how long the seasons were, but I think they were still fairly long though. I feel like they might have cut back a little bit, like it wasn't a month and a half like we used to get, but it was still like a month long. Or no, you know what? It was like a month and a half. It opened up in I can't remember because I was kind of just scamming through it. Like I said, I was kind of just Googling chuckers, and then I ended up getting on the Idaho regulations book. And but I remember the hunt season was a little longer. Um, but the area because we used to hunt 10A.
Yeah,
I feel like some things changed there though. They're like the later season stuff, and the regulations were a little tighter on 10A, but Yeah, I wish I would have kind of retained it a little better because I just was kind of scamming through some stuff. And I know the one thing that surprised me is Idaho lets you do spikes and uh, I think there's different tags for each or something, like you can do spike only and stuff like that. But I know out here in Colorado, I want to say I could be getting it wrong, but you have to have 4-point or better and 5-inch brow tines. We went through that whole thing. we were looking that up a couple years ago to make sure we were okay, we didn't have nothing to shoot at, but we were seeing what we could and couldn't shoot at. I remember me and you going through that in Colorado, but yeah, Idaho's regulations are a lot different as far as that goes. It's you kind of have some different options for when you can, how big the antlers have to be and stuff. So, but yeah, it was pretty. I don't know. I really miss that month and a half though, because I remember, when we had that. I mean, in high school and whenever I was living there, working, I would either after high school or after work for that whole entire month and a half. I mean, I just take off after work and go up in the woods, and on the weekends I'd go out every weekend until I got my animal. But now it's just like 1 week, and out here in Colorado it's just 1 week, 8 days. And then if I drew for first season, it's only like 5 or 6 days. So you even get less time, and it's a draw. I guess the advantage is though is the pressure, right? Because it's first season, so you might have a little more of a success rate because the pressure is not as bad. But yeah, 1 week, man, it's just tough to really get anything done, Or
Yeah.
I'm only saying that because I haven't gotten anything done yet. So whenever we get when I finally do get my elk, I'll probably have a different tune about that. But I don't know. It's just interesting.
True. It is. That's you gotta become I guess one of those things, you gotta hone in on your skills so that way you become a better hunter, trying to learn where they're at and get in on them quicker.
Yeah.
But I guess that's just the story of it,
Yeah.
You either, going out hunting to spend time in the woods to do nothing, or I shouldn't say nothing, but you want to get something. So I guess you gotta work hard.
Oh yeah, definitely. I just realized that we went through this whole podcast so far, and I just gotta say you look good in that cowboy hat. We haven't even brought it up. Just totally blew right past it. It just dawned on me when you're just talking about the struggling of getting your elk. I was like, we haven't talked about his cowboy hat at all yet. But no, I like the look though. You're a modern day. I've said this before, but you're a modern day Davy Crockett.
Yeah, I try to be that cool.
Yeah, definitely. Well, yeah, so hopefully this year we get some meat in the freezer, and we get a leg up on these old elk, and have some better stories, and I can move on to some archery hunting, and go kind of get a little more successful. But
yeah, I think I would like to. I feel like I said earlier, the whole rifle. I feel like I've left that chapter undone. I'd like to fill a tag with the rifle. It's tried for so many years. But
Yeah. So can you do both at all?
no.
See, I don't know the regulations that well over here, but from what I understand is you get like a second chance. But you can do rifle, I believe. So you know you go bow hunting. If you don't get nothing, then you can get like a. We have like a B, and C, and so you go for an A during archery or something like that, and then and I'm probably chopping this all up, and I don't know, too many Coloradoans hear this, they'll probably let me know, but you go for, or you have your A, and then if you don't get nothing during archery, then you can do a season during rifle, but it's like a grade down, like a B tag or something like that. And I want to say even like for me, like I could get a second chance, but it would go from A to B or something like that. Like I said, I got to brush up on it. Maybe next podcast I'll clear all that up, clear the air on that, and figure that all out. Because it would be nice to know. Because then, I mean, the only downside is you're paying for another tag and you've already been defeated. I know last year, a buddy of mine was telling me about that, and I was like, man, I feel a little defeated though. Like, I was already kind of defeated. I was like, do I really want to spend another, however much the tags are just to, I'm already kind of feeling defeated. I don't know if I could take another defeat this season. So I kind of didn't do it, but it was definitely interesting though. I was like, get me out there some more. So
True. That kind of interests me a little bit, like go in with the archery tag, and then don't get anything, it makes me feel like I can, I kind of want to look into that, because it makes me feel like I can kind of get more bang for my buck, in a way, like,
yeah,
have an opportunity, not just one. But
well, I don't know if it's more bang for your buck, but it's definitely more opportunity to try to make a bang for your buck.
boom, boom.
I'm glad I got one. I haven't gotten one of those yet. You gave yourself one last week, or whenever it was, but yeah, yeah, because you have to keep paying for your tag every time, but yeah, it definitely gets you out there hunting a lot more though. I might do it this year too, I mean, forget all that. I'm gonna get one first day of opening day.
Heck yeah.
I ain't messing around this year. But I don't know, man. We've been at it for about an hour. You want to
Yeah, I'm good.
We'll come back with some more next week, and guys, everybody that's been listening to this point, we appreciate your support. Help us grow. Tell a friend, maybe two, and no, we really appreciate it. We're really, we're plugging hard at it. I mean, this is only our 5th episode. I was going to ask you, actually, before we sign off real quick, how does it feel to be in the 5th episode of the Struggling Hunters?
It feels a little accomplished, I mean, I know it's only like 5, and that's 5 weeks in a row, but like, that's 5 weeks more than I've ever done it, like, it's kind of fun. It's accomplished, it's more than one.
Yeah. Well, how many people do that? They do like one podcast and then don't ever really go back to it. So really, I mean, we're already breaking records. I don't know which records those are, but we're breaking some kind of records, but no, I feel the same way, man. I feel really good about this. I mean, we're still learning. We're still trying to, break the, just get better every podcast rather, and trying to kind of still figure out a direction, and try to come up with content. But that's not easy stuff, but I mean, we'll get there with time and everything. And I feel good. I feel the same way as you do, is we're accomplishing something, and it feels good. And I'm just, it's still exciting. I mean, it's getting more exciting because we're building something here. This is like the groundwork of something. And we haven't even really started on the foundation yet. So it's exciting to be here and doing this, and I'm just having fun and really enjoying it. So yeah, that's really all I can think of for that. But with that said, guys, thanks for listening to another episode of The Struggling Hunters with myself, Eric Stewart, and the man, Joe Imes. Joe, is there anything you want to sign off with, or?
Shoot straight. Be sure of your shot. Hit the like button. Hit the subscribe button. And like Eric said, tell a friend. Tell them that these two struggling hunter dudes that don't know what they're talking about are pretty good to listen to.
Yeah. I mean, part of the feeling is because like some of the podcasts that I listen to is I hope that we kind of come across as you're almost sitting in the living room with us, just listening to us, talk about hunting and going on, like we're there with you, like we're all friends or something. That's kind of, there's some podcasts where that I listen to that I get that feeling like a little bit like I'm almost sitting there with them, even though I'm just listening, I'm not saying anything. I'm kind of sitting there with them, like I kind of get their vibe or whatever. And so I kind of hope that that's what we bring to people. And we probably should get better at signing off, because we've signed off twice now, and then kept rambling on. It's what is that? What is that? The encore? Is that what that is? Whenever, we've gave you the encore of the podcast.
It's gonna turn like, is it two like teenage lovers? You hang up first. No, you hang up first. Oh, you're so cute. You hang up.
Yeah, that's almost what it's like. That's good stuff. But all right, well, I think that's all I got. This is Eric Stewart. Thanks for listening to The Struggling Hunters.
That's Joe Imes. Have a good one. Good luck hunting. And see you next time.
And hit the 5-star review. Thanks. Bye.